Annoyed by the ass licking.
He's annoyed by the school giving them the stuff, the school like acknowledging it, and that is a different thing than the school just being like, all right, kids are going to do what you're going to do, but keep it discreet. There is a difference between that and then being like, here are some sex toys for you, go nuts. Like, it is a more active validation of the behavior.
Okay.
It does kind of feel like our generation invented ass licking, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think they were licking each other's assholes in the 50s, probably, because I think like oral sex was invented in probably 1986. And ass licking is like
true. Boomers invented oral sex. Yeah.
Yeah, oral sex was actually invented during Iran-Contra to distract Americans,
Right.
and every man who thinks he likes it has been fooled, and it's probably a worse crime even than circumcision.
He goes, Rod continues, this happened to me recently. My middle son is 17. He's a smart kid, makes good grades, but he prefers working with his hands and prefers to be outdoors.
I bet he does.
Prefers working with his finger cups.
Yeah. My son built my goon shack for me.
And he remembers the
My
lecture.
son put an addition on a highway rest stop. He built a separate room.
Oh yeah. What's your son doing? Playing video games? Well, look at this. My son created an entire 6-foot tunnel beneath our outhouse where an adult man could stand with his mouth open.
He goes, and he remembers the lecture my late father gave to him a decade ago. The one I heard 1,000 times as a kid, in which my dad railed about how he really wanted to go to trade school, but his parents guilted him into going to college, and how he resented his desk job from day one until retirement. My son said he thinks he might be happier going to trade school and learning how to work on equipment. This brings him pleasure. He bought his first car recently, a pickup truck, and he loves working on it. It could be that he is mistaking enthusiasm for working on his truck for a sign of a vocation in the trades. We'll see over the next year. He's got a year and a half left in high school. But I told him that if he discerns that trade school is better for him, then I will support that path forward. I can't be a hypocrite who chronicles the decline of American universities by day, but who would nevertheless insist that my son get a college degree when he doesn't want to go to college, but instead wants to learn how to fix machines and build things. If I had a child at Princeton and found out that the university was handing out hiney licking kits to them, I would be on the phone to the university president to raise hell. Think about
Rod's on the phone and he's like, we don't do that anywhere but my house.
I want my son to go to trade school where people learn to fuck correctly. Missionary style, penis and vagina sex.
And
I learned how to give back shots in HVAC school.
And if you go to trade school, particularly if if you're working on auto mechanics or engineering of any kind, there's no need to provide lube because your hands are already well greased at the end of the day. You can just slide it right up the butthole. He goes, and he says, think about what a gift this is to the Chinese and Russians.
He means they're just literally the condoms. They're just sending people in their illegals program to just scoop up as many as possible in their arms and run back to China. They don't have flavored condom technology yet.
They haven't figured out dental dams in Russia yet.
Yeah.
At one of the premier institutions of higher learning, provide help and material assistance to turn the leadership class of tomorrow into a claque of butt lickers and oral fetishists who are too fragile to hear arguments that make them anxious. I mean, I don't know, why is one connected to the other? He's turning the ruling elite of America into ass lickers. It's like, well, if they got into Princeton, guess what? They were already an ass licker.
I do like the way that those bleed together, though, because it's like, oh yeah, they're fucked up, pervert, degenerates, and they also won't hear arguments from people like me.
Yeah, yeah.
They won't hear an older man who's still pretty handsome say, "Why don't you let me do that? Why don't you fill my asshole with that dental foam and just lick it out, and then leave a mold inside my ass, and then I will get down on my stomach on a floor." And you can just stand with both the balls of your feet on my asshole, pressing my nuts into the floor. They won't hear that argument.
But yeah, I mean, it's this idea that if kids are encouraged to, if college students are encouraged to practice sort of boutique sexual practices, which oral sex is not exactly a boutique sexual practice, not at this point. It'll make them into, I don't know, fragile, degenerate adults or something. I just I just like once again, like I don't know the connection in Rod's brain between having sex or having sex in ways that is not approved by him personally, and this sort of like decline of Western civilization.
Yeah, does he
It's all-
think
it's all-
people in China like aren't fucking?
Yeah, but they're not licking each other's assholes, or they're not sucking dick, they're not eating pussy, they're not doing the shocker.
They're just bouncing a ball together until they come.
There is a Shang Dynasty vase from 10,000 BC that depicts felching.
Did the Roman Empire? It all began to go tits up for them as soon as they discovered squirting.
Yeah.
As soon as they discovered that the G-spot thing you can do, it was like, the Huns were at the gates.
But that's like the people.
And I think Rod does believe that, though. I think he believes that people who have are less sexually inclined are like sort of stronger, purer, more virile in a way.
If you had to bet money, do you think he like sends his son to trade school though? I think no.
Yeah,
There's no way. No fucking way.
absolutely not.
No, yeah, that's the rub with Rod. Is that like
Rod's son is going to work at a gay steel mill.
yeah. That is the rub with Rod, that he's like, calls all this stuff out. And he does like even sort of allude to that in this article where he's like, oh yeah, we talk about how bad college is, but we all send our kids there. But it's like beyond just like sending his kid there, no one is more of like a fruity cosmopolitan than Rod.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that Budapest garden party article where the guy told him about how Blue's Clues is woke. One of the best articles I've ever read.
And also, like, nobody on the planet is more obsessed about college than Rod Dreher. And not just college, but elite Ivy League institutions.
Riled up.
Yeah.
How can he have like vicarious enjoyment of all of his son's experiences of the decadent perversions?
They if Rod is really worried, he should send his son to ASU, because like if you do anything but doggy style, they expel you like it's holding hands at Liberty.
I mean, I think you're going out on a limb to suggest that Rod would be okay with doggy style.
Oh yeah, no, he probably thinks doggy style that they like started that in 1998.
He's like the degenerate elites watch their dogs, and that's how they learned about how to have sex.
Yeah.
They're trying to turn kids into animals or something like that.
Just look at all the positions. Look, it's right in the name, reverse cowgirl. It's saying that the woman should do the job while the man stays home and eats soy.
It's reversing a gender hierarchy.
Exactly.
I don't think he'd be okay with cowgirl. Period.
No,
I think
none of them. Pretty much none of them. I think like soaking would be the only thing he thinks is good.
I think any sex that is pleasurable, exciting, or fulfilling for an individual to experiment or engage in is, I think, a threat to Rod's view of society. I think he views pleasurable sex of any kind, or like the increasing social acceptance that sex should be pleasurable for both parties, or that there's a wide variety of sexual practice outside soaking that is enjoyable and fun for both people to do. I think he genuinely regards that as like the single greatest threat to civilization itself. And like the more fun people are having sex, like the quicker we will slide into a new age of barbarism and darkness, essentially.
But I guess what's the final thing that's like fucking weird to me about this is like getting mad about like the Princeton condom thing as like that's what's going to cause degeneracy. It's like that is like the social conservative equivalent of being like, oh, use a reusable coffee filter or else the environment's going to fall apart. Like, what is it? That seems like a drop in the bucket compared to anything else. Like, if that's such a big deal, then the war's already lost. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, wait till Rod finds out about Cardi B.
Yeah,
and I mean, he uses that word degeneracy in this article. The degeneracy of the American elites, the degenerate American elite, and it's a word that's very in vogue with conservatives and sort of the new right nowadays. And it used to refer only to gay people. But I think now degenerate just refers to like anyone who has sex. It just refers to like pussy gettas of all varieties, pussy and ass gettas of all varieties. Because I think for whatever reason, it's like if I had to make a case for the degeneracy of the American ruling class, the fact that they're doing butt stuff on their own free time would not make the top 100.
Yeah, this is, if anything, an improvement. Like it's adults doing it to each other.
So there we go. That's Rod on modern elite ass licking techniques. But if I can agree with Rod for just a second, And get rid of all these flavored lubes and condoms. Just get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah. Focus
Ridiculous.
on the sex, for God's sakes. Quit trying to be freaking Tom Colicchio over here when you're having sex.
I'll tell you what's always bugged me is like sexy cosplay, like when hot women dress up like superheroes or whatever. Like, I don't know. I
That
think
doesn't do it for you?
I just think I should go away. Like, is the lady not? Do you need her to dress up like Spider-Man to get hard? You know, like the idea of like nerds enjoying that bothers me. Like, it's not enough. I've tried to talk about this on stage so many times, and I can't seem to articulate what bothers me about it so much.
It should be like a sexy lady in a sexy outfit should be good enough. It shouldn't just be
good
like,
enough.
oh, she's Cortana from Halo.
Right.
That's really hot, though. Like, all the other ones are stupid, but you just named the one hot one.
I guess if she dressed up like Arthur Morgan from Red Dead, that'd be kind of hot. A big titted Arthur Morgan
Who dies of consumption.
yeah.
I wonder if
you got some dick for me, boy. Wow. Oh.
I wonder if there's ever been like, you know, like a history nerd, like a Civil War guy
Matt?
who like made if Matt did this, like if Matt had $1 billion that he would get like the hottest one in the world to like dress up like General Meade. I don't know. Do you do that? I've never asked you.
I would never do it with Mead. Come on.
Yeah. Phil Sheridan, though, you would, right?
Absolute replacement level general. Get out of here with that. Now we're talking maybe George Thomas. Okay. Rock of Chickamauga. Now we're talking.
Who are your top 5 sexiest Civil War generals off the dome?
I mean, it's annoying because he was terrible, but McClellan really did look like he was poured into that uniform. I gotta say.
Yeah.
Grant is handsome.
Mhm.
And you know,
Sherman was a good-looking guy, I guess. Right?
Sherman, especially when you remember that he had like bright red hair, very striking. Robert E. Lee, you don't think, you look at him and you're like, he's just an old guy with a beard, but at the contemporary moment, people would always, when they were describing him, just stop to talk about how fucking hot he was. People couldn't get over how hot Robert E. Lee was.
Okay.
You heard it here first. Matt into Confederacy cosplay. Done. End the episode. Clip that.
Grant, I feel like had like a certain like later career Gerard Butler swag.
Yeah. Just rumpled, hungover.
What about that guy Hancock?
Oh yeah, Winfield Scott Hancock. Yeah, he was pretty dashing. He had a mustache and everything.
You know what occurred to me? Oral sex of the junior varsity and varsity varieties, you know, whether you're the primary genital area or the asshole style area, that's probably a more modern sexual practice because everyone was so fucking dirty back then. It was just like the opportunities to bathe and clean your asshole were like few and far between. So getting that up close and personal with one would probably be not the most appetizing thing to imagine, like pre early 90s.
Well, it wasn't sexual until the 90s. It was like a platonic thing. Two soldiers would do it to each other.
They would clean each other's buttholes.
If you read those letters between like Confederates, where it's like, oh, I can't wait to do that again. But that's just like, it's like monkeys grooming each other. It was how you helped your friend.
It's so cool you guys had Oliver Stone on last week. now we're just talking about licking asshole.
He should do a movie about that.
He should.
About how they invented oral sex, like during Reagan.
Yeah.
It was Fawn Hall invented it, actually.
Yeah. Check this out.
All right. Well, hopefully we've got you nice and horned up, thinking about, you know, guys with mutton chops licking each other's assholes. That'll have to tide you over until next time. I want to thank Mike Racine for being on the show today.
Thank
Mike, if people would like more of you, your podcast, your stand up, just they want more Mike Racine in their life. Where should they go?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, racine.mike, and then I'm doing stand-up in Detroit, December 10th and 11th, and then Adam Friedland and I will be at Caroline's on Broadway, December 23rd. That should be a fun show. 2 shows, 7 o'clock and 9:30, and everybody should come and hang out.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I have a quick announcement before we get off.
Okay.
Our store, everything, as a special December holiday time treat, everything on the Chapo Trap House shop is 15% off for the next 15 days, or rather until December 15th. So everything there is 15% off, at shop.chapotraphouse.com. Until the 15th, we will be getting restocks of new colors for some of the shirts that are already there. So check back soon, and I'll try to make an announcement about that. And of course, yes, the restock of the Zapato oil petroleum hats should be coming imminently. I've been told by the end of the month, those will be back up on the store. So just check back there. 15% off everything until the 15th. Shop.chapotraphouse.com. And of course, in less than 1 week, in 6 days, we will be in Buffalo to play our live show at Asbury Hall on December. God, I've said this so many times.
8th.
What day is that? This the 8th, on December 8th in Asbury Hall in Buffalo. Tickets still available. Hopefully, see you there next week.
Are you guys going to go to Hall of Presidents in Buffalo? It's a bar. It's like a U.S. president themed bar.
Now we are. Now that I know that
we are
exists.
now.
Yeah. Great bar. Hall, if the owner's there, he'll ask you trivia questions.
Oh,
Ooh,
well.
hell yeah. Let's do
We
it.
brought a
Give drinks
ringer
for them
We're
because
bringing
then
in a
we're all
ringer.
gonna fucking
Yeah.
die.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
alcohol
yeah.
poisoning.
I'm just trying. Yeah. Ooh. Matt's gonna clean up at that.
Probably not. I'm already
Okay.
No, I'm sorry,
setting
founding-
expectations low right now.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Founding Fathers is the name of the bar.
Founding Fathers.
Founding
Fathers.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I
you'll
was
love it.
most looking forward to taking doing a thought squat with Matt in front of the Grover Cleveland statue.
nice.
Absolutely.
He's
I
from
want to go to
Jersey.
the. Oh yeah, he is.
He was born in Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, he was.
They got
he was
one of the rest stops named after him.
Yeah. The best one.
He was the first president to have a break baby.
That's true.
Yes.
Dwayne Wade did it. You know, we've all done it. Cleveland did it. It's when you have a fight with your wife and you're like, okay, we're on break, and then you immediately get someone else pregnant.